beautiful people. Yeah, today is a day I don't like to remember, and yet I do love to remember it because it reminds me of my hero, the love of my life, and the day that he was taken out of this world and entered into glory. It's been 7 years of adventure on my own, where the Lord has been my constant companion. And for some or other reason, the 7th year has hit me quite hard emotionally. And I think it's because my brain can't comprehend the 7 years alone. 7 years just seems like a season, like a chunk. And it's caught me off guard. And as I've been working on the farm, it's been helping me to realize that that is how God has been working in my life. One chunk at a time, one day at a time, removing the things that shouldn't be there and replacing them with the things that should be there. And so as I started my veggie garden here on the farm, it was removing piles and piles of rock and turning it into a lush, fruitful vegetable garden. And I believe that that's what God has been doing with me in my spirit. And it's been a beautiful journey. It's been a painful journey, but I have chosen to learn things along the way. And it's just been incredible to have Jesus walking with me hand by hand. And that old saying of the footprints, and then there were only one footprint, and where were you, Jesus? Those are the times he carried me. And he truly has carried me through some dark days in these 7 years. But I can testify that God's goodness carries one. God is faithful. He never leaves you. He never forsakes you. He is always there. And so today I was just, as I got up this morning, it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and the rain was pouring down. And I just said, Lord, why are the emotions so raw again this year? I've been fine. And it's like the thoughts that came to mind were, you get through grief, you get through trauma, but the missing the physical contact with that person here on earth, that is what bruises the heart. And dates like today, it's almost like just that little bump on the heart, and you feel that little bruise. You know, when you bump your leg or you bump your body somewhere and you see the bruise, and sometimes you can't even remember where you got that bruise from. But if you bump it, it's inner, and it reminds you that it's there. And so it's the missing that stays as a bruise in my heart. And every now and then a special date or a special memory will just bump on my heart and remind me that, he's left a big gap. But I'm so grateful for what God has accomplished in and through me. And the cry of my heart is to be a blessing. I want others to see Christ in me. I want to give him all the glory. I want to shine brightly in my little corner of the world where God has placed. So this is the little paradise that God has placed me in, my little treasure. And I actually wanted to go and sit up at the waterfall and record it, but the waterfall is so loud that I didn't think you'd be able to hear me above it. But where I'm sitting now, there's another waterfall further down, and I can still hear the water in the background here, and it's just so beautiful. we chased the ducks when we came up earlier, and I can hear them squawking in the background wanting to come back onto the dam, and they don't like to come here when we're here. So yeah, I just thought I'd record this as a memory, and it sometimes is healing when I speak out. So I'd love to hear from other widows. How has God been there? How have you handled it? Was your husband taken in a traumatic way? How did you get through the trauma, through the grief? And just how do the memories affect you now? Do they make you smile? Do they make you cry? Most memories make me smile, and I just treasure the time that I had with Lawrence. And yeah, and now I'm on the farm, little treasure, and I'm loving every moment of it. And God is just so good. So all glory to Him. I'm only strong because of Him. I've only come through this ordeal because of Him. Without Him, I have no idea where I would be. Love you all greatly. Just as I'm doing this, it's like I'm thinking, this is exactly what God has done in my life. He took all this hard calluses, all the hardness that was wrapped around my heart, and yeah, He's gently taken it off piece by piece by piece to reveal the beauty. Just look at the beauty of this wood underneath all this rotting bark. Yes, it's a dead tree, but this can be turned into something beautiful. And out of death, God can bring life. Isn't that beautiful? So I came back down to my favorite little spot at the river again. I wasn't planning on doing any work down there. I just wanted to take a walk. But when I got there and I just started looking at all these piles and piles of dead trees, I thought, oh, I just pulled this one, just pull that one. The next thing I knew it, I'd got stuck in there. It's a little bit of like playing pickup sticks. The big pile. This is where Bono knocked my camera over. So we got some clouds. Yeah, but there we are. I played pickup sticks with all the dead ones, and was able to clear a large portion there so that you can see the water flowing down better. And I'm just loving it. And slowly but surely I'll make my way up the river and clear it.